Hello and welcome back. I don't know why I said we're going live in 3, 2, 1 because my mic was open. So it was hardly a surprise for anybody.
Surprise!
Right. Yes. Excellent. Well, welcome back, everyone. The party is now back on the barge and we're heading off further upstream towards Ubbin Falls. And before you go any further, I would like you to pay careful attention to something that Mithras works out for us automatically on the character sheet. So if you can make sure you call up your character sheet on in front of you, and can you look down to where it says movement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now on the last one, because we're on a barge, okay, the last one says swim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, first of all, remember swimming is a skill. Okay, so the first thing to make very much aware of is that if you are trained in swimming, then you can swim. Okay, and you can swim quite effectively. If you haven't trained in swim, then you will have a basic chance, yeah? Because it's a standard skill. But this basically means that you flounder around and keep yourself afloat or move backwards and forwards. And the number in the first bit is the amount that the number of meters that you will swim in various various disguises in one round. Can I please also remind you, and I'm not too sure whether or not we've been playing this, your movement of whatever 6, say, is 6 meters per round, not per turn. Okay, so somebody like if you have 3 action points, if you move 6 on your first one, then after that you are actually running or sprinting and taking the penalties therefore up. So you can see now, if you do have the swim skill, i.e. you're trained in it, then you can add 20% of your swim onto your swim movement. Okay, so you can naturally, because you're more graceful, you've got butterfly, you could do breaststroke, etc. Also, your swim roll is taken into account if anything disastrous happens while you're in the water. You know, so say for example you suddenly got dragged and pulled underwater by something and you try to resist it, then rather than, you wouldn't use your strength roll, you would, or your brawn roll, you would use your swim, because that's what it said. You might notice that there's an oblique stroke and then there's a number to the right of that stroke. Yeah. Okay, this is how realistic Mithras is. If that number is positive, when you fall into the water, you will float. If that number is negative, you will sink. Okay, so it looks at your armor and what you're wearing and what you're carrying and your encumbrance, etc., 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 and works it out for you. Obviously, if you got -1, then you'll sink slower than you will do if it was -10. But it means if it's a negative, no matter what, you cannot keep yourself afloat if you're in the water. You are sinking. Okay, and then that would be it. Okay, so it's not a case that you can sort of swim your way to the surface. If it's a negative value in there, you are going down. Now, just so you know, and I've just got this information for you here. If you wish to hold your breath at any point, then you can hold your breath for a number of seconds equal to your endurance skill. Now, can I remind you that a round is 5 seconds. Okay. However, for this to happen, you must have filled your lungs as much as possible before you went in the water. So say, for example, you were going to go underwater and you wanted to hold your breath and go underwater, it would be taken that you're sort of like getting those deep breaths over and over again and then going in, and then that will be your endurance per second. If you don't have that time to do it, i.e., for example, I came up to Gulliver and pushed him overboard and he tried to hold his breath, then it will be half your endurance, okay, rounded up. Okay,
That's seconds.
in seconds. So you then divide it by 5 roughly to get the number of rounds. However, you, over the period of held breath, so while you're underwater or holding your breath, you must make an endurance roll. Okay, and if you roll a critical success, then no other deterioration occurs. You're fine. If you roll successfully, you gain an extra level of fatigue while you're holding your breath. Okay, so that's it. If you then fail, you still hold your breath. That's absolutely fine, but you will gain an extra 1d2 levels of fatigue that round. So you might just get 1, you might get 2. If you fumble, you gain an extra 1d3. Okay, then that's it. Without aid, death from asphyxiation or lack of breath is usually swift. If the asphyxiation ends before the character dies, they recover fatigue levels lost due to suffocation relatively quickly, regaining 1 level per minute. So it's not your normal recovery. So you take it back a little bit quicker. So
basically, stay away from water.
What's your second number?
I float.
Right, so you float. So therefore, as you enter the water, you're not going to sink. You're just going to doggy paddle around the top. Okay. How long? Who's going to? Is everybody positive or is somebody negative?
I'm positive.
I'm positive.
Hello, Hengist.
Hengist is a water skater, so he runs on the surface of the water. No, he sinks.
Yeah.
Does it change as you say, for example, Hengist, if you were to change your encumbrance from your shield to 0?
It's to do with the armor that you're wearing.
Right.
You'd have to
Okay.
strip your armor.
And I was going to mention it a while back. Somebody in the Discord chat.
Oh no, it'd be a lot more fun just watching him.
Somebody in the Discord chat said there was a conversation going on that I was just watching, and somebody said, "Oh, do you sink?" or something like that, and I thought that's interesting. And then when I looked into the rules, it does actually calculate it for you. So you know. So if you took your armor off Hengist, removed it, then it should change that to a positive value.
Which is what you did on the voyage over anyway, when we were travelling from the old lands to Eldis.
Yeah.
But that would take away the whole line of "Come back, Jack. Come back."
Yeah. We did. It'd be fine.
Yeah. Just on a side note, does that mean we're going to sink?
No, we'll float. It's only Hengist that's going to sing.
No, the boat.
It'll be fine.
I just thought it would be worth now or sometime, since you are on a barge, making those calculations about the number of rounds or seconds you can hold your breath for.
14.
So it'd be 14 / something. Because it's full. It's your endurance skill in seconds if you took a deep breath, but it's half of that if you just go overboard. Okay.
10 seconds.
18.
I'm 71 seconds, 14 turns.
Okay.
That's bad. Well, after
Rounds.
when
Rounds.
Jeremiah goes
Sorry.
off, Gulliver's going to go.
Sorry, Hazra, did you say turns or rounds? It's
So
rounds.
action points, isn't it? Oh, no, actually, the whole rounds. Yeah.
Rounds, yeah.
Per action. Yeah.
1 round's 5 seconds long.
Yeah.
And in Shadowrun, 1 round is 6 seconds long.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you sort of like Jeremiah has just gone down below deck after quizzing you, and the guards busy themselves taking up the rope and causing the barge to drift out into the middle of the river, and they have got it past the bridge now while you have been there. Oh, Hazra, you've had some unfortunate news.
Oh.
You rode your horse so hard getting here that the beast sadly died and has been disposed of as you arrived at it. You were somewhat...
Meat is back on the menu.
I was literally about to say, as you served a stew with suspiciously horsey-looking lumps in it.
And a name tag.
I have warned you about riding horses hard, and you just ignored it.
Yes.
You know, and that was it. Many people have told you this. You know, never ride a horse too
Very
hard
sad.
because it
Never
will
ride.
die. What is your ride skill?
My ride is 40.
40. Excellent. So the barge sets off down the river once more, and as night time starts to come in, they light the lanterns, and people busy themselves both up and below deck as it goes through the into dusk. Is there anything that you guys would like to do?
Yeah, I mean, Gulliver wants to, when everybody's together, he wants to bring up the thing about the house, and he wants to say, what do you think happened at the house?
Looked like it could possibly be something similar to the seed. But more importantly, why didn't we tell the captain why we hesitated in burning down the house?
We hesitated because Ben thought it was a bad idea.
No, I mean, we should have told him the truth, is that it would have made a beacon. And with the Minotaur...
I said that, Batterby.
That's true.
Fight.
I said. But on the way back to the barge, I was thinking, because what Hengist saw down in the basement, there was another chest with the knight's armor in it, wasn't there?
There was, yes.
But there was also the bit of velvet. Now, maybe that's what the seed was wrapped up in.
As well as its chest. As well as its own chest.
No, I don't think it was in that chest, Hengist, to begin with. I think maybe the magic of the original chest where the armor was, maybe that started to fade. And that's why all the blight had spread from it. And the knight didn't know what to do with it. So he decided that he was going to make another chest, maybe protected, and take it to Lindo.
And he was going to his order's secret base, wasn't he?
Well, yes, because that's where the map showed it.
So one would assume that would be, or one could guess that's the safest place for them.
Well, maybe he thought that was the safest place for it. That's the only thing I can think of. And you must stop telling everything that happens, Hengist, because eventually they're going to know more than we do.
No, don't worry. There is never a chance people will know more than you lot do. Never.
And I know you'll think of it as lying, but it's not really lying. It's just hiding the truth.
It's omitting certain facts.
Yes, exactly.
Saying that there was nothing in the chest but some armor and some velvet cloth, because that is what was there.
Yeah,
so
but
the seed you talk about, does it spread contagion by just touching? Or does it have to be left in a certain place?
it has to be planted.
Right. So,
It's a seed. Imagine like a normal seed, like a.
so why if it was wrapped in a cloth, why would the cloth be contaminated?
No, the cloth isn't contaminated.
But you said that's where it spreads from. And surely it would have to be planted to spread.
No, because a basement is below ground. That's like it being planted.
Right. So not in soil, just below sea level.
Well, it was in soil really, because the basement would be surrounded by soil. It's very difficult to understand.
It is.
When it was explained to us, the lady had it in the box and was able to open the box to reveal that it spewed out this fungus at a steady rate, just regardless. We were up in a tower at that point, up in a tree.
So it doesn't have to be in the ground. It can be anywhere. Like if it's exposed to air, it spreads.
I think planting it does something far worse than a little bit of poisonous fungus.
I see.
Jeremiah was showing far too much interest in it, especially when Hengist mentioned about the piece of velvet.
He was, wasn't he?
That's why I think he
to know what he's looking for.
Just as you mentioned Jeremiah's name, he comes tottering up the steps, carrying what appears to be a bucket, and he goes over to the side and sort of like tips the contents over into the river and heads back down. And as he passes one of the guards, he says, "This river trip is doing nothing for my digestive system," and pops back down below deck.
Strange.
Poor guy.
I think next time he takes a bucket upstairs, we should take it off him and have a look first.
I was going to say we should pray for him, but
Each to their own.
I don't trust him.
I don't trust him either.
Not Hazra, I meant Jeremiah. I think we should keep an eye on him.
Hazra is bringing some very strange characteristics to the fore after watching Hengist and stroking his face, and now suggesting that we should look at people's fecal deposits before they go overboard.
We know what these nomads are
Still
like.
weirded out by that, by the way.
They're so primitive.
If I check his stool, I can see when he was last there.
I'm not doubting your science. But
Can I just say he's actually got a skill in it?
well,
Yeah, that was an interesting one to decide where it went. Is this crafting?
Corn again.
Anyway, because it's getting towards night time, Gulliver wants to turn in for the night because he needs rest after being nearly strangled to death, and also he needs to he wants to try to regain some more magic points.
Yeah, okay then. So you all sort of like settle down, you all go below deck and sort of like go to your usual bunks. Hazra, you've been given a sleeping compartment just like everybody else. It looks like it's been inhabited before, and you can see that there's some some other sort of like clothing and things there. You also do notice that in this one here there is a dead body wrapped up in cloth, etc. That appears to be the dead guard. And you carry on your journey towards Ubbin Falls, and we're going to fast forward for the rest of the trip as days and nights blend together. And eventually you find, after about another week of traveling, arriving at on Moon Day, the 12th of Farast, when on the evening both Amriel and the moons of Morath will be in their first quarter, both of them mirroring each other, that you suddenly are called up onto deck, everybody, as the cry goes out that Ubbin Falls is in sight. And you all head up to the deck of the boat and look ahead, and you can see that the river stops, and there's what appears to be a pier, a jetty, made out of wood, that the boat moors up against. And then from this jetty going off into the distance, you can see that the town or the village is further down in the distance. And this is what you can see.
Does the river carry on?
Yes, it does, but it gets so narrow that the barge cannot go very much further. And you can probably, can you see the picture now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can see that in the distance, there's the lake, and the lake actually curves round this village and feeds this river, heading down towards Lindo. So all this here and over here actually sort of like carries on round and then starts feeding the river. And you can see this is exactly what it looks like. It looks like it's lived in, but as you look at it from the picture, you can see that it's well and truly, as far as you can see at the moment, abandoned. You can also see in the distance, just to let you know, the island in the middle of the lake is not actually there. That is just all one lake. And over here, I'm just going to ping the map. You see it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From that top ridge, from this top ridge there, you notice that there's a waterfall that cascades over that top ridge and sort of like goes down and feeds the lake. And it's almost as if up sort of like, I'll just draw it on roughly for you. It almost looks as if in this sort of like delve beyond, there's probably another lake that is cascading down here.
Ah, right. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
Into this one that is then feeding the river that runs down.
I was going to ask whether or not there was any sort of like tributaries coming in or anything like that.
No, it seems to be some kind of, it could be a glacier lake or a huge natural spring up there. You're not too sure.
Okay, but where are we? Have we landed down this? Are we coming up from down the bottom, basically?
If who has the Bartleby, can you roll your locale skill for me, please?
Absolutely. Bartleby to the rescue. Just moving through my skills, and there is locale rolling now.
Yeah, you figure that there is some kind of a lake up there, and you remember hearing stories of a lake from long ago that seems to have an unending wealth of water that cascades down, that feeds the lake of Ubbin Falls as it feeds down past the town into down into Lindo. You do notice a little bit further up as the bridge, as the tributary narrows, there's like a wooden bridge that crosses the smaller tributary, and it's wide enough for a caravan to go across. It's not sort of like covered over or anything like that. And you figured that's probably the direction that the caravan that you went to see in the earlier on in the series of the campaign, that it went across to get to the opposite side of the river to drive down to Lindo.
So from leaving, getting back on the barge from at the farm and until arriving here, have I managed to get any magic points back?
Yes, everything is full now, and your luck points will be replenished as well. Just to let you know, this is, and the reason I'm letting your luck points replenish is that this was where we should have got to at the end of last adventure. So we should have started here.
Right.
And then that would have been it. So if anybody had used luck points in the last bit of the adventure, it would have been because you still got them rather than them being refreshed. So this is where...
So does it look like the guards are bringing the barge to stop at the pier?
Yeah, it's tied up to the jetty, and Sarv is sort of like getting you together to discuss what's going to happen. Now, just to let you know, I'm going to move you onto the map of the village shortly. This picture here is to give you an indication of what it looks like. The map is not an exact replica of this picture.
Is it to scale though?
No. Okay. So don't start saying, "Is this the house that had the shield on?" or anything like that. The important thing about this is that this is what the town, the village looks like now. And can I just say, for anybody who was thinking and maybe slightly spooked out, this is not a person watching you.
I was actually trying to read what was on the sign.
Here?
Yes.
It's not a sign. It's not writing. It's pictures.
Oh, right.
It's like a hammer and tongs or something like that.
Blacksmiths.
It is blacksmiths, yeah.
It's an anvil. Yeah.
But I wanted you to sort of like get the feel of what the town looks like. Do you have any questions about the any questions that you would want to know about how the town looks like at the moment before I put?
I mean, as the barge is pulling up, Gulliver's sort of like looking for any signs of life, you know, because as far as he's concerned, something like this, you know, maybe there should be chickens on the.
Okay, then, yeah.
Sort of like going around, or people. Okay, you know, people say, especially, you know, they've probably seen the barge coming down the river, and you know, people sort of like looking out, making sure that it's nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Okay, then. So, is there anything else that anybody else would want to notice or anything?
Is it sort of like generally well maintained, or is it kind of? When I say well maintained, I mean it's like, because it looks like there's thatch roofing. Does it look like that's all sort of not mouldy, or does it look?
Okay, then. So you look at signs of mold. Okay, then. Anybody else want to check anything else?
I'm going to see if we can see tracks to see where, if there's nobody here, where have they gone? So have they come down to the pier?
I think you're going to have to be off the barge. I think this is as we're coming up to the.
Oh, sorry.
As we're getting up towards the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll just keep an eye out for any signs of life.
Okay, then. And Bartleby, anything that you would like to do?
I don't think there's anything I can really add here.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Gulliver and Hengist, could you roll your perception rolls for me, please?
To you or just normal?
Just normal. I know the information that I'm going to give you, so I'm going to give you information.
Hengist made a perception roll.
Okay then. So first things first, and Hazra, you noticed this as well. But since Gulliver mentioned it first, then he gets to roll on it. There appears to be no sign of life at all. There's no people. There's no smoke emanating from anywhere. There's no wild animals. There's no animals wandering around. If anything, the only thing that you actually hear is almost like the banging of a shutter in the wind, and that's it. The whole place looks absolutely deserted. There's no fungal growth or anything like that in the whole place that you can see from this distance. It looks absolutely clear of mildew or irregular growth at all. The other thing that Bartleby, you do notice as well is that from your locale roll is that there's no sounds of animals at all. There's no sort of like birds tweeting or cows mooing or anything at all. The whole place, literally the whole place, just seems to be devoid of life.
I would like to start praying and getting closer to Gulliver. I don't like this danger. If I can, I am going for a specific prayer over Gulliver.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm trying to do this, and I'm rolling this. I'm way too nervous
You
to
can
make
look
this.
it.
I'm gonna luck it over my nerves.
Yeah. Okay then. So Gulliver, when we go onto your character icon, just either put yourself a shield on it yourself, or I'll put it on. Or remind me to put it on. Okay.
Amory will keep you safe, Gulliver. This is. I sense something bad here.
Thanks, Bartleby. Where's all the people?
Sarv says, "My thoughts exactly, boy."
And chickens. There should be chickens.
There should be a lot of things here.
Do you think the man beast that attacked Lindo perhaps came here?
It's a fair point, thesist.
Does there seem to be...
But the damage that beast did to Lindo was significant. Here there seems to be little or no damage.
Bartleby, do you know of any stories of people, entire villages going missing, or any tales of that sort of thing that could potentially explain this?
Good question. I'm gonna think as far into my memory as I can. Lore monsters.
And what's your other? Do you have a history roll?
I do have history as well.
That you can go for history then.
History's better, actually. Huzzah!
There was once a story that you do remember of a whole village disappearing, but the story was assumed that it actually stated that a witch of some order brought down almost like controlled the weather and sent a storm, a hurricane of tremendous force down onto a village, and it actually wiped the village out. And they actually, the villagers actually captured her daughter and tried her as a witch and killed her. And almost like it with revenge, the witch brought down this horrific storm and literally obliterated the whole village. There was no houses, people, animal, or anything left by the end of the hurricane. And it is said actually that if you go to, and this is what you know, Bartleby, if you go to the location, which is rumoured to be somewhere in Odess, that you still know that you're in the village, because as you pass through, you can still almost like sense people walking past you, as if the spirits still live there. And if you are unfortunate enough to camp in the area, then your dreams, or should I say nightmares, are haunted by the screams and cries of anguish as the spirits relive that unforgettable event.
Gulliver's going to say, what lies beyond Ubbin Falls? Could they have gone there?
That's a good question. I wonder what their evacuation plan was in the case of invading armies or anything. Probably to go down to Lindo, right?
Unless that's where the invading army came from. I don't know, maybe it was the goblins.
Just so you know, I'm just going to pop you on, just briefly, onto the map of Odess that you know.
I was hoping you would.
Oh, zoom in.
Yeah, there's not really a northern route out of Ubbin Falls.
So if you remember, just so you know, the Library of the Mystics lies here in this southernmost point. Okay, you didn't journey beyond that. This is the forest area that you met the bandits. The farms, etc., that you saw sort of like here on this side of the river, and then you can see Ubbin Falls, and this is the lake, and that tributary there is the way down to the upper glacier where the waterfall is. Yeah.
I mean, perhaps in a time of danger, they went to the hills and the forest.
But what about the grasshoppers? What about the birds? Where are they?
There's nothing.
There should always be a sound of life. There is no sound.
They could be hiding. Maybe they're afraid.
No, all creatures make a noise.
Creatures know to be afraid of witches, though.
Well, we need to check it for signs of life, or maybe we'll find some information of where they've gone to. Maybe someone left a note, or
Maybe well, I guess we'll have to get off of this barge if we want to do that, but
We also need to try and find Knight Simon as well.
well, we know where he is, Hengist. He's underneath the waterfall. So we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go through Ubbin Falls anyway to get to the lake, and then hopefully find some type of vessel that can take us across there. Because I don't want to swim.
we all had that conversation on the barge.
Sarv sort of like brings you all together and sort of like states to you all, and quite boldly, right, we are going to go and investigate Ubbin Falls. We will split ourselves up to search the area more effectively, since we are here together, and some of you, he looks at you, Gully, seem less prepared for battle than others. I think it's better that we organise ourselves in groups and progress not as a party, but as co-conspirators as we move down into the village. And he starts to order you into partners. I'm just going to move you into partners. I'm not telling you where you're stood or anything like that. I'm just saying where who you're going with, who's going with whom, and that's that.
No, who have I got?
One of the quad. I can't remember what the word is. Triplets. Quad.
Jason.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's one of the quad Jason.
Sarv orders you, Hengist, to go with Jeremiah. Jeremiah wants to stay on the boat, but Sarv sort of like says, no, we are all going. He's not leaving anybody behind, because if that person was left by themselves, they could easily be picked off and maybe even poisoned. Hazra, you've got a guard with you. And Bartleby and Ben, you've got a guard with you as well. And Gulliver, you are escorting the captain and the guard. So the guard is with you, and it just so happens that you're with Sarv as well. So I'm going to move you onto the map, and just give me a bit of time, because I'll be moving you onto it in your pairs. Okay, so when you get there, you'll know, you can decide whereabouts you're going to be. So the map of the village is of a very large scale. Okay, you are actually coming in from it. You will come into the village. Can you see where it is? Is everybody got on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So down, can you see to the far side where I put the blue wiggly line?
Yeah.
So that's where the lake is. Okay. So you're actually coming on to the map from this direction. Can you see where the two camp tents are?
Mm-hmm.
Far end, yeah.
Yeah. So that is where, imagine that's where the jetty is. Okay, and that's where the camp, the base camp will be. Now I'm just going to put you on, and the important thing to notice here is that the size of your tokens will be tiny. The map is sorted to the right scale. So the actual graph, the ruler, is to the right scale. Okay, so I'm not going to make you too tiny, because if that happens, you can't actually see your icons at all, because of the squares. But I'm just going to move you on. If you guys wish to discuss anything as I move you across, then that's absolutely fine. You can do that.
As we're disembarking from the barge, Gulliver wants to take special notice of Jeremiah, see whether or not he's armed, whether or not he's carrying any weapons.
Okay. Yeah, if you just make for me, please, a perception check. It's interesting. For some unknown reason, you didn't come across Gulliver.
Me? Oh, I got hard. There we are. Larger than life.
Yeah, he seems. I've just used a different token. So, yeah, he seems to have a dagger.
Okay.
On his belt.
Who did Jason get assigned to work with?
Yeah, I'll tell you. 1 second.
Cool. Hoping he's in my squad.
And I think I just need to bring over Hengist and
Mr. Clubfoot. I mean, sorry, Jeremiah.
I mean, that is his name, so seems like an insulting last name considering his condition.
It's a very Norman name, because they named everyone after their professions. So, you know, Clubfoot.
What is the profession of a clubfoot?
Yeah.
Being clubfooted.
I always thought the surnames were named after were things that were to associate with the person.
It was, yeah, when William the Conqueror came over in 1066, the Doomsday Book, he renamed a lot of people's surnames. So he would put, for example, Chugawugga, blacksmith, and that would be the trade. And
But I thought it was stuff like Wilson would be the son of Will.
Yeah, it depends on the heritage. Up north, then that would have been the case with the not the Vikings. The Scandinavians did that more. But that's where Smiths
That's
came
Scandinavians for you.
from. And Fletcher. and Cooper, all those sorts of names.
Yeah. So.
Sorry for the history lesson.
No, that's.
Gulliver wants to say to.
Wait, just 1 second. So Jason is actually with you, Bartleby,
Oh, awesome! Yes.
How come he gets Jason?
because I rolled for it. And now
Amriel had my back there.
I could have played Jason as well, you know.
Does the river continue on?
in which yes, so it sort of like comes down to the bottom of the map, round the base of the map, and then into the lake. So it literally goes from where you are now. It would literally.
So it's like a turning circle then.
Yeah. So if
somebody stole the barge, they couldn't just carry on downriver.
They could. The only place they can go if they're still.
Is onto the lake.
No, it can't go round to the lake because the river becomes too narrow from this point. It
Right.
just becomes
So they
like
could only go back towards Lindo then.
correct. That's the
Right.
only. That's the only way they could place they can go. Okay, can you just make sure that everybody can move, please?
I can't.
I
Sorry.
can.
I'm good to go.
Excellent.
Forbidden too.
Right.
I can.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you. I'm going to give you control of your guard. Okay, so each one of you will have control of the guard that is with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take me a bit of time.
Gulliver should have a shield if you can add it, Gulliver.
Oh yeah, I shall add it on now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amriel's got your back.
A shield. There we go.
And I've got control.
Cool. This is yours, Gulliver. I think I'm just going to have to add you to all of them because some of them are the same.
Yeah, I got him.
I think you might have lost yours now, Bartleby.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got him now.
Yeah. So just 1 second.
I've got them all.
Yeah. I'll just add you. I'll add all of you. To each one of you. Yeah. Okay. So you should all be able to move your.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to put a little purple dot in mine so I know which one's mine, just in case they get close together.
That's a good idea. I'll take green. Green
Don't want
team.
to be-
Shall ask, how do you do that? Is that the little circle at the bottom?
Yeah, so click on the. I'll give you. Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, on yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this you should have. You should have. Longshanks, you should have control of Jeremiah now.
I do indeed.
Yeah, and just to let you know, if you try to open his character sheet, you will get Juno the dog.
I didn't know he had a character.
Well, of course,
Juno the dog.
because of course he has a character sheet. But
Tired Juno.
That explains so much about him. If he was just Juno.
Explain a lot about him.
and Gulliver, you should have control over Sarv now. But if you open his character sheet, you'll just get some animated armor.
I won't. Yeah, I won't. But yeah, I should. Yeah, I can move them all as a group now.
Yeah, cool. Okay, quarter and search by twos.
Okay, so the as soon as we're off the.
Oh,
as well.
sorry. Just one more thing. What I'm going to take into account now is where you are. Okay, so you guys have to think. So, for example, Bartleby, nobody at the moment can see here. You see, so please, I know where certain things are. So if you go somewhere, then something might happen. But don't think, well, hang on, there was nothing there. It's because technically you can't see the whole map. For these are trees, so none of you can see here.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. So don't say to me, what is this? Because none of you can see it. So you just need to be aware of that as you move around the map. Okay, is everybody happy with where everything is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you've been ordered by Sarv to almost like start to investigate the town or the village of Ubbin Falls, and what you're looking for is well, quite obviously signs of life. If you go up to any building, you should be able to see from the map where the door is, or doors. Yeah? Does everybody figure out where the doors are?
No,
The
I
little
can't.
peak bits.
No, if you look where
The
if you look,
paths going in.
yeah, look where the paths go, and that
Oh,
will
okay.
automatically go up to a door. You know,
I
so
wasn't on
you
that.
can figure out where the doors are from that. Windows are either shuttered or hanging off shutters like you saw from the map. Okay, you can see where chimney stacks are. If you want to get the closest window or whatever, then just say. If you want to make perception checks or any checks about the area roundabout, then that's absolutely fine. I have got your perception rolls here, so there's no point saying to me all the time, can I make a perception roll? Can I make a perception roll? Okay, see, so if, for example, you're walking past these this set of trees there's no need to say to me, can I make a perception roll to see if there's anything inside? I know that, and I will tell you if you see or notice anything, unless you specifically want to search somewhere. Okay, that's it. Any questions before you head off?
Nothing from Gulliver.
No, nothing from him. Well, Angus wants to know if there's sort of like a meet-up point.
Yeah. So they
in case of danger, or in case we finish early or something.
Yeah, Sarv says that you are all to progress through the village until you meet the lake, and everybody will meet on the opposite side of the village with the lake. He looks quite sternly at you, Hengist, and said, make sure you keep the Count's advisor safe.
Of course, Captain. And he turns to Jeremiah Crump and says, stick to me like glue.
Jeremiah says, shall I draw my knife or not? It's all like goes, or not. Out or in?
If you have it out, you might fall on it at the moment.
It's a very noble knife, as you can see. The hilt is encrusted with fine rubies.
That is very nice. It is a very fine knife.
I bought it for a significant price down at Lindo's market. The retailer, quite a canny merchant, said it was gifted to me. It had my name on it, and it was surely worth the rather expensive price that I paid for it.
It is a very fine knife.
He sort of like tries to do that thing when you flick it from hand to hand, and he sort of, and it drops down on the floor, and he quickly, sorry.
I think the safest place for it at the moment is in its sheath. I'll let you know if you need it.
Yes, and he sort of like goes, and then sticks it back in properly.
Angus just rolls his eyes and looks at, because he's nearest to Bartleby, he just rolls his eyes at Bartleby.
Ben goes.
as soon as Gulliver's feet are on solid ground, once they've disembarked from the barge, he wants to cast and hold a spell.
Okay, go for it. You just need to tell me what spell it is. No, don't tell me what spell it is. And then when you want it, you can just... It was a teleport spell.
I thought that would be the...
Yeah, just put the spell description. Okay, then. I need to know intensity. Just you. Okay, then. Thank you. So you cast that and you hold it on yourself. Okay, Sarv says, you know what your orders. He says to you, if you encounter anything that you need help, then please hoot like an owl 4 times. No, he just says, shout loudly.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so how we're going to do this?
Jeremiah's understood this.
Say again, sorry.
I said Hengist turns to Jeremiah to make sure that Jeremiah is listening to that.
Yes, he seems quite intense, and he's sort of like he's looking left, right, and centre. And just so you know, as you move off, you feel that he's right next to you, and it's sort of like if you stop, he sort of like bumps into the back of you. It's like, oh, sorry. Like that, and he's sort of like creeping around. So the idea of how we're going to move through the village is that you all should have your ruler. Roughly your movements are all about 6 meters. So what we'll do is that everybody will move their 6 meters, okay, and then people will move from there, and then I will sort of like direct you whereabouts you're going to go. So up at the top, okay, so there's Gulliver and Hazra is going to go off first. Whereabouts? So are you going to the house? Are you heading towards the house?
Do you want me to? Would you like me to skirt the outside to find tracks, or go through the buildings?
Well, you will. I mean, if you want to stay and not move for this round and look for tracks, then that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not moving. Okay, Gulliver and Sarv, whereabouts are you going?
Okay, so we're this group here will start heading towards the first building. Okay,
yeah. Okay, so Hazra and the guard that's with you, the Sarv is going up to that building. Okay, Hengist and...
We're in a diamond formation.
Yeah, Hengist and Jeremiah, whereabouts are you heading off to?
We're heading... Hang on, I did measure it out. Where's my ruler gone? We're heading to sort of like this way towards the big building over here. We're in that formation.
Okay. And Bartleby and Ben and Jason the guard, whereabouts are you heading for?
We're also heading towards this building, but we're going to be curving our path kind of to head south. That's
Okay.
the intention.
Yeah. Okay then. So you wish to do a tracking skill, yeah?
Yes, please.
Right. So let me just check on the. So this is an opposed row. The track skill is used for tracking any form of game or quarry. It uses both obvious and ambiguous signs of passing to remain on the quarry's trail, including footprints, bruises, scattered. Yeah. Okay then. So it's hidden against concealed rolls. So what quarry or game are you tracking?
I'm trying to see any footfall of any person or animal that might have passed around this area.
Right, you need to be...
You want me to be more specific?
Yeah, the track
because you're in a village, so there's going to be lots of...
Yeah, the track skill is not it's not like the D&D track skill when you say, are there any tracks? The track skill is for you to track someone or something. So, for example, Aaron used to use it to track deer to shoot. if you use it within a street, you can follow that person around. I mean, on the ground, everybody can see that there are ruts of wagons, and there's footprints in the mud. You know, there is signs of life here. There's just no life.
So, any signs of rushing movement, would that count? Gosh.
I think what you need to do, you need to specify.
No. Has anybody been running here? Can I see that?
Oh, right, okay, then roll your tracking skill.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a village. There are signs of people running left, right, and centre. You know, it doesn't look like that you can't sort of tell roughly one set of footprints from another. It looks like this was once quite a busy and hectic town or village. Okay, people, would you like to move your second lots of movement now, please?
Inwards, this bush that I'm thinking at the moment.
You can walk past it, yeah.
Okay, that's right. In that case, we'll sort of skirt it this way.
So I take it that Gulliver can see sort of like down through this gap here.
You can see, as long as it's in eyesight or line of sight, sorry, you can see things. So you've noticed that Jeremiah Hengist has gone past those trees and gone out of sight.
Okay, and have I noticed the other guard further?
You've noticed that Bartleby, Ben, and Jason are going down the other way.
Okay, so as Gulliver's heading...
Hang on. Bartleby, are you moving down there yet?
Yeah, I wanted to wait until I could confirm that I can move.
Yeah, you can move. Yeah, go for it.
Cool beans.
I just wanted to see which way Hengist was going and which way you were going. Yeah, that's a good tactic. So Gulliver and Sarv, you would be going up to the house.
Yeah.
So you will probably reach the door at the end of this one.
I've grabbed somebody else's guard. and as Gulliver's heading over there, and after seeing that the other two groups are going for the big house, he's going to say to Hazra, he's going to point at the little house.
Yes.
The one on the prairie.
This one here.
Yeah, this one on the prairie here.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, check that one out, Hazra.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The other thing, I should have mentioned it, but I thought you might have guessed. Can you see that it's not completely flat in places? There is various hillocks that some of the houses are built partially on and partially off. Yeah. Okay, so you're up to the door. Hazra and Guard 4.
We shall go to this door here.
Okay then. So both the top two people, the people down at the bottom moving around the grey house, you don't hear any noises from within the house at all. As you walk past the shutters are hanging off the door, the windows. It looks like there's no glass in them, of course, and you can see inside. And inside, it looks quite, in both the buildings, the grey building and in yours and in everybody's building, it looks like the main form of entry has been through the windows. The doors don't seem to be ajar or anything like that. If anything, they seem to be still intact. But a lot of the windows seem to be broken into. And looking inside, it looks like the rooms inside have been completely and utterly ransacked. Everything is knocked over, everything is scattered, but there is no bodies at all. There's no dead pets, there's no dead animals, there's no dead anything. There are items there, but there's nothing living there's no living items in there, so there's nothing like food left, or if there was a wine pitcher, it's been knocked over and there's no wine there anymore, and the whole place it looks ransacked.
So, looking in through the shuttered window, or the window, the house where Gulliver's near, is it a single room, or is
It's
there...
just like a normal. There's lots of different rooms, but every room looks the same. So there's obviously 1 or 2 main entrance points into the house through the window, not through the door on either of yours, Hazra or Gully, and the inside of the house looks completely ransacked. And Hengist and Bartleby, you can see it in your house as you go past it.
So there's no signs of blood or anything on the floor, just ransacked.
It just absolutely ransacked. You won't actually be able to see signs of blood unless you actually enter into the house, and then you'll have an option either to climb through the window or to go through the door. And then once you're in the house, then you'll spend that round or that turn checking the house for blood, and that's when you would make an additional perception roll.
Yes,
So-
well, I'll do that.
Okay, so you're going into the house then.
I'll go in through the door
Okay.
in this house.
Okay, so move yourself inside of the house, and I will tell you what happens once everybody's done their movement.
Gulliver wants to go up to the door, and he wants to either push it or pull it. Can I do that if I'm holding the spell?
No, I need you to tell me what your action's going to be. So, for example, if rather than saying I want to push or pull the door, somebody like the guard to do that, I need to know your generic action, i.e. you're going to try the door, then go in and check what's in the house.
Okay. So I want the guard to try the door to see whether or not it's been barred from the inside.
And that's it, yeah, or not?
Yes. No, that's it.
Okay then. So that'll be your action. Hazra's going into the building. Hengist, what are you doing with Jeremiah?
Hengist and Jeremiah are. Hang on, I did measure it. We get to about, so we get to about that. We're moving round again. Carrying on.
Okay, and Bartleby and Jason and Ben, where are you moving to?
I guess we're gonna go down and investigate if there is a well or well-like object here.
Yeah, so move yourselves down, and then I will. As Ben moves by himself.
Sorry, I threw Ben ahead of me. We're all tripping. We're gonna go like right here about.
Excellent.
Except I'm not in well.
Okay, so going from the top, the door is not locked at all. It's not barred from anywhere. It doesn't look too sturdy at all, Gulliver. Hazra, your house that you went into, door's in a similar state. It's not locked or anything like that. And the room looks exactly how, or the rooms will look exactly how I described a moment ago. You spend the rest of this round searching for blood. So roll a perception check for me, please. Okay, and Bartleby, yeah, it is indeed a well. You don't. There's no signs of blood there at all. Okay, Hengist, you can move first. Off you go.
Cool. Hengist is. Oh, he's probably just about make it. No, not quite. Hengist and Jeremiah are gonna start heading towards the door to this big house.
Okay, Bartleby, what would you like to do?
There is water at the well, yeah?
Yeah, you drop something down and it drops down a certain distance and goes plum, and you notice that it's got one of those typical wishing well, not a windy handle. It's got buckets round the edge with pieces of string rope on it that you sort of like hurl down and then pull up from the side. You notice round the top of the well, there's well-worn sort of like grooves when the rope's being pulled up and down.
I'd like to have Jason with his strong arms pull up a bucket of water to assess the quality.
Yeah, okay then. Gulliver, what would you and your party like to do?
we're going to go into this house.
Yeah.
And Sav and the guard are going to have a look around. Gulliver's going to go over to where the fireplace is, and he's going to put his hand over the whatever's in it, just to see whether or not there's any heat.
Oh yeah, okay then.
Emanating from. He just wants to try to get an idea of time, or
yeah. There's no heat from the fire at all. Whatever happened here happened.
has long gone.
Has long gone. Yeah, you might find them under the main cooling plant.
Yeah. It's a goddamn family meeting.
Yeah, town meeting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, Ben throws the bucket over and pulls it up, and it's completely. It looks like it's clean, fresh water. Hazra and Guard 4, what would you like to do?
We will move out of the building.
Okay.
And then head towards these woods.
Okay.
Is there any?
Right, so we're back to you, Hengist and Jeremiah. What would you like to do?
Angus and Jeremiah, we're going to go up to this big house, try the door. If it's open, we're gonna start exploring the house.
Okay then. So you're going to, are you exploring the whole house?
Yeah, we'll explore the entire house.
Okay, so you're going to be out of the turn order for a while now as you go and search the house. Okay then. So Bartleby's team, what would you like to do?
We're going to continue on going south towards the little building, or actually, I should say towards this little clearing in the trees.
Okay. Then.
Since I probably can't see that little house at all.
Yeah, that's cool. You probably know. You can probably see it now, so that's absolutely fine. Hazra and Guard 4, where would you like to go?
We are going to go into the woods.
Okay, so your movement is now moved by half because you're going through difficult terrain. So you can only technically move 3 meters as you start to move into the forest. Gulliver and Sav's team.
So we're just going to spend a bit of time in this house. Did the windows used to have glass in them?
No, I said that beforehand. There's no glass.
Okay.
I need to know when you say you want to spend a little bit of time in the house.
Yeah, I was going to ask a couple of questions. One of them was to see whether or not there had ever been any glass in the windows.
No, glass hasn't really been available in places like this. Mainly because you need sand.
Right. Okay. So we want to see whether or not there's any discarded weapons on the floor.
Right. Hang on. You know that in any case, because I said earlier that it just looks like normal house contents.
Right.
So it's just like just imagine a normal village house with general abode in it, a general abode that's been ransacked. So there might be a poker, but there's not like a halberd, or a long sword there.
Is there any signs that there might be any type of cellar?
Okay, so you're going to spend the next round searching for an entrance to the cellar. Okay then. So let's move on and you and Hengist continue to search houses. Bartleby, off you go.
Let's see, continuing on the little path down towards this building. I guess we're going to assess what's in that courtyard down there before we go into any building, but we'll get to that when it comes.
So the house to the west of you is exactly like all the others. So it looks like there's 1 or 2 main sources of entrance in, mainly through windows when it's been bashed open or something like that. And the inside of the house is ransacked and scattered all over the place. Hazra, where are you? Just move your
Still
3
moving,
3 meters. Okay, Bartleby, what would you like to do with your team?
So we already saw into the building to our west, and that's pretty well ransacked. I guess we're going to make our way down to this kind of differently colored building this direction.
Yep. Okay, that's absolutely cool.
There we go.
Yeah, so as you approach that house, it appears like each and every one of the other ones looks like two major, maybe three major, because it's a bigger house, forms of entry into it. And it's ransacked from inside, normal village sort of like paraphernalia in there, etc. You can see the well down to the southwest there. That looks exactly the same as the well up to the north that you passed beforehand. So far in the rooms that Hengist and Jeremiah you've searched, it's just been like I said, and Gulliver and Sarv, you spend this turn searching the house, and there looks like there's no entrance to a cellar at all. Sarv does look at you, Gulliver, and say, I doubt that there will be any cellars. The water table will probably be too high for that. I fear that we are spending too long in this house. And Bartleby, what would you like to do?
Keep going south. You just told me that this kind of slightly discolored building is it's pretty well empty. We're not seeing anybody, so we'll just move straight on south.
Excellent.
Just trying to see about right there.
Excellent. Hazra, you continue to move through the forest.
Yes, realizing it's a little bit slow going, I'm going to try and edge this way, he says. I'm going to try and head out this way so I can skirt around it while keeping an eye on the inside.
So that will be the same direction as Hengist and Jeremiah went. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm aiming to be going, I don't think you can see his ruler, to be going sort of down here.
Right, okay then. Gulliver and Sarv's group, whereabouts are you going to go now?
So we're gonna leave there, and we're gonna start heading around this way.
Okay, so yeah, you can get to about there. That's absolutely fine. So nobody's taken the northern sort of like route round. I presume you might be coming up in this direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, and back down to you, Bartleby. Whereabouts would you like to go?
We're heading down towards this southernmost building, or well, I guess it's not the southernmost, but it's close.
Yeah.
Maybe peer inside a little bit through windows if you can from here.
Just hold that thought. I'll come back to you in 1 second. Hazra, you'll probably be able to move out of the woods this round. Yep, that's absolutely fine. And so you can come out. You can see Jeremiah and Hengist inside this big building, searching around it. Gulliver, can you just do your movement? Cool, thank you. And then Bartleby, I just need to tell you what you can see. This house, this one here, is somewhat different to all the rest. There's no entry points. Everything is blocked up. The door's blocked up. Okay, it's all shuttered off. So can you remember the other houses that you've passed have had entry points? This one doesn't. It looks like all the windows are still shuttered. And you can see from where you are, the door is actually closed as well. Okay. Right. We're going reverse order now. So Gulliver, whereabouts are you moving off to?
Well, seeing that how big is this? Can we see this house as well as that one?
Which house, sorry?
Can we see both these houses?
Yeah, this is like a natural rock.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you can't go through it. You're going to have to go up to the north and round if you wish to go anywhere.
Yeah. So that's the way that we're going. So I can move 6 meters. So we're going to get to about there.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, Hazra, whereabouts are you moving to?
I'm going to move to here.
Excellent. And Hengist, you will finish searching this house at the end of this round. So at the end of this round, you will be back at the entrance to the
Brilliant.
door. They're just like mentioned before. It's just exactly the same as all the
No
others.
no signs of blood or anything
No,
like that.
exactly
Brilliant.
like I've said in all the others. Okay,
No problem.
Bartleby, what would you like to do?
Just to make sure I heard you correctly, with this little house down here, the window areas are shuttered up.
Correct.
Okay. Do they look? I actually, as Bartleby, I'll say to Jason and Ben, do you guys think that one of you could pry open one of these so we can see in? Perhaps there's some survivors in there.
Okay, let's zoom down to your part of the map. Yeah, so Jason's quite happy to have a go at going in and trying to pry open. I don't need your action points on your character sheets tokens, by the way, guys. I have it somewhere else now. So unless you need them, I don't actually need them. So you can just click on the green thing and then it'll be disappeared. And then because if you're watching the stream now, you'll notice that we're zoomed in right the way down at the bottom house with Jason and the Argonauts there. Okay, Jason prizes open one of the windows. He uses sort of like the butt and the shaft of his spear and actually manages to open it. It comes away quite easily. It's not connected to anything strong, but looking inside, you can all see that this house is totally and utterly prestige. It's not ransacked at all. It looks very orderly, very well laid out. It just looks like, however, a hovel. You know, it doesn't look like it's something major or anything like that.
No valuables or anything that can be seen beyond what you'd need to live in a house.
Well, for these people, probably life itself is valuable.
Well, that is very true.
So, right, back up to the top. Gulliver and Salve, where would you like to go?
We're going to head over to this little one here,
Okay.
so we can get up to it, have a look through the windows.
Why do you always draw one arrow, then draw another one in the opposite direction?
Yeah, I try moving the characters and forget that I haven't changed to from the ruler to the other one, so it just draws a line.
Okay. When you come to this house, I'll tell you something about it once everybody's done their movement. Okay, so Hazra, you're next.
So I shall move to there.
Okay,
Again,
so
to keep an eye on the forest.
yeah, that's what I said at the beginning. So your perception rolls are taken into account for that. And as you come out the house, Hengist, with Jeremiah, you notice that Hasdra is walking past with the guard. So you can do your 6 meters movement now.
Cool. We're
That
going
was
to
6.1. He moved 0.1 extra.
Okay, and Bartleby's team, what would you like to do?
There you go.
I'm going to presume, based on what you said, that there's nothing too valuable right there. So I'm just going to mentally note that, and we're going to move towards the next building, which is something like over here.
Okay. Right, I'm zooming back into you, Gulliver, up at the top with the pink guard. As you approach this house looks very similar to all the rest, but it's not the house that causes you to stop. It is this 76 meters, by the way. Whoever just measured that.
I don't know what the range of Bartleby's protection is, whether or not I've gone out of range of it.
I thought it was more of a time based.
It's time based. It's scenario based.
Right.
So you will have it for the whole. He's not holding the spell. It's the range only casts when it's cast out. From this bush here, you notice that the bush almost like shakes a little bit, and suddenly coming out of it appears something that looks like this. It seems to be vaguely reptilian-like, Gulliver. It seems to have really big, hefty hind legs and has a tail that is balancing it quite nicely. And out of its front, it has two shorter legs that has sort of like rather hideous hooked claws, talons almost like on the end. Its actual head is quite sturdy. From what you know of animals, it almost looks as if it could be used for ramming. But inside its mouth, you can see it's got a row of hideous teeth, and it doesn't seem to. It doesn't go "Ba-da!" like that. It just sort of like comes out as if it's been rustling through the undergrowth, and it just sort of like comes out. And as it comes out, its head's down like this, and all of a sudden it goes. And you can see it tilts its head up like this, and almost like seems to be scanning the air with its nostrils.
Clever girl.
Okay.
Gulliver wants to say to Sav, I hope that's domesticated.
Bartleby, what would you like to do? Going back down to you now.
We're just happily making our way over to this building, which I think we should be just getting in front of the doorway.
Cool.
If not in a little bit. We're not in that order. We're more bunched together.
Yeah, it looks very similar. I'll just pop it there because I wanted to do something just because I saw you in that original formation.
Gotcha.
You sort of like start to approach the door, and this one doesn't look like the last one. It looks like the previous ones. But as you approach it, Ben sort of like taps you on the back. And you sort of like think, what's he want? And you look round over one shoulder, and he sort of like goes like that. And you notice that something has just come out of the undergrowth. Hengist, where would you like to go? Can I say that this is a really nice flower ahead of you here?
Is it? Oh, in that case, Hengist goes up and he
and it puffs spores at you.
You inhale them.
Hengist is gonna
6.2.
start moving to about there-ish.
6.3.
Okay, and Hazra, where you go?
It's all right, Chugwugger. He's doing the quick march, so it's fine.
6 meters. Well done, Hazra.
There we go.
So Hazra, it's when you get to this point that the guard stops you, and he sort of like says, he whispers to you, "There's something in the trees." And you look in, and you can see, definitely see something almost like scavenging around inside the trees. It seems to be searching around for something, looking around about as it does anything. Okay, Gulliver's team, what would you like to do?
Does this thing look like it's seen us? Oh, right, okay. Are there any shutters or anything on this one? Is it like the one that we were in previously?
The grey house next to you. Yes, it's exactly like everything else.
Does the guard draw his sword or anything with this thing?
The group is in your command at the moment, so you decide what to do, and then, if need be, I will take over whatever. So don't worry about what you would do, or rather than saying they'll do this, just worry what you would do, or where would you suggest that they go.
I mean, this is, to Gulliver, this is obviously a threat, so he's going to say to the guard and to Sav, we should prepare just in case it attacks.
Sav sort of like turns to you and says, "Surely silence will be." And just as he does that, you hear the guard lower his spear, because they carry spears, and he says, "I'm ready for it," like that. And the creature stops, and immediately it stops sniffing the air, and almost like its head sort of like whizzes round straight to look at the guard in front of you, and it sort of like levels its head at you, and then in your general area, and then it almost like goes and tilts its head slightly, and then almost like raises its head and goes "Ow, ow, ow, ow," like that. And you suddenly notice Hazra, the one next to you, stops what it's doing and picks up its head and echoes the same call back. And Hengist, you can hear this cry, this sort of voice now, and you noticed even down here, Bartleby, that yours that was just coming out suddenly raises its head and echoes the call, and then obviously picks you guys up. Okay, guys, let's have some initiative on the... Hang on, not yet. Let me just get it up, and I just need... Don't do anything yet, because I need to reduce everything down and get rid of all of you. Right, it should be ready for your rolls now.
Brilliant. Longshanks told you was not trying to use his foot to do his initiative roll then.
Do you want me to do for the guard as well?
No, I'll do the guards. It's all right.
Yep.
Yes, 17.
Ben and I did well.
Okay, let's just put you into some kind of order. Let's get rid of that music and let's start that music. Okay. let me just call up this combat sheet so I know which one we're up to. Okay, right. Hazra, you're up first.
Right. I'm not going to do anything apart from set my spear, and I'm going to tell the guard, just stay still, stay quiet.
Right, hang on, because I'm having dreadful problems hearing you. So you're setting your spear to brace for a charge?
Yep.
Okay then. So that'll be your action. So let me just change that to Hazra. So you hunker down with your spear. You brace your spear heavily down onto the ground, so it's got a firm footing down, and you crouch down, using it ready for anything to sort of like barge into.
Yes.
Gulliver, you're up next.
Gulliver's going to defensively delay.
You're delaying then, rather than
Yes. Divering.
Divering. Yeah, cool. Thank you. I'm just rolling when my guards are going to. Yeah, I thought it might be then. Excellent. Right, Hengist. No, sorry, me next, isn't it? Because I got it one above. Okay, so this is when some attacking occurs. So this beast in front of you starts galloping towards you. Its head sort of like comes down, its tail goes up at the end, and it just sort of like starts charging towards the guard. This one moves. The one in front of you, Hazra, moves with such grace and poise. As it sets off running, it seems to be unhindered by the vegetation in this forest. And it almost like curves itself round trees, and it comes dashing out of the forest. And when it gets to about 2 meters away, it launches itself at the guard. Oh, hang on. I'm just making sure that it was not rolling to me before I did it. Here we go. Yeah, so it charges itself at the guard, and it sort of like launches towards it. The guard tries to parry it with his shield, with his spear, and it fails. And the raptor goes straight into the guard, and it manages to do what those wolves were doing beforehand. It leaps and attacks at the same time. So this, I'm just going to use the normal hit location. So it comes down and it sort of like misjudges its jump and sort of like lands onto the guard's right leg. And it does 4 points of damage to it, please, Hazra. And it's a special that it uses. It grips onto that leg. Yours has moved, and yours starts to move as well, heading towards the guard at full pelt. Hengist, you're up.
Cool. So seeing that I've got some sort of creature attacking Hazra and his guard to my left, and to my right I can probably just about see the one that's sprinting away at something.
Hang on, let's look.
I'm guessing I can. It's more or less a straight.
You've seen it come.
Yeah.
The trouble is, I don't think you will have done, because you probably this combat in front of you is probably a lot louder than that one right the way down there.
Okay.
So you're probably seeing the one there rather than
but
anything else.
that's
Yeah.
fine. But anyway, he's definitely seen this one that's in combat with Hastra, and he calls to Jeremiah, "Quick to the house!" And then Hengist is gonna use his, because he's not drawing any weapons. He's gonna grab hold of Jeremiah and he's gonna pull him towards this house here, and then he wants to throw open the door, quick glance and make sure it's okay, and then he wants to bungle Jeremiah inside.
Right,
the
hang
building.
on. So you're doing a movement action on turn 1. So Jeremiah sort of goes, "Ah, we've been attacked!" and then heads off with you to there. Okay then. Bartleby, you're up.
Bartleby is going to pray for protection from Amriel over his personal self on this turn. Gonna go ahead and hit the explanation and then hit the roll.
Cool.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Add it. Ben, what would you like Ben to do?
Ben is going to move forward to attack, I presume. Unless, did he have his club drawn? Or his Warhammer, I should say?
People have probably had their weapons drawn, because going into this situation, it's not something that you'll be going, "Oh, it's a fine day." You probably all thought it was something quite hideous. Right, now remember the raptor is moving.
Okay, would he be able to move forward and, like, as it's coming out, he meets it?
So what I think we'll probably say is that when it comes to, because the raptor is going to move first next round, isn't it? Well, no, hang on. I'll tell you what's going to happen. So, and then we can sort it. So this raptor starts to move there. Ben starts to move out towards it using his movement. But on the guard phase, the guard moves up to the raptor there. You see, so Ben will do a movement, and the combat will come together at that point. And guards. Let me just sort out my guards. So your guard can have a to hit roll. Hazra.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just trying to find him. There we go.
Is that his combat style? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Cool. So he actually hits. I need special and location.
Okay, he'll be going.
You need to roll 1d20s, guys. By the way, just so you know, because they have tails and things like that. So special first.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
I need special first.
Sorry. Which will be. So he's going to try. Did he have his spear out, or is
they all carrying spears? Yeah.
Spears impale in that case.
Okay then. So impaling the 6.
Yep.
I need 2 damage rolls. Four and 6. So he takes the 6, and he whacks into the. Let me get it on the right one, because otherwise it will go all wrong. It'll go dreadfully wrong. In the 6, which is his left leg, and does 6 points of damage, which actually manages to go through its thick, leathery hide. So remember, this guard has got this raptor's mouth round its leg, and he sort of like whacks his spear into this raptor's leg in a vain attempt to try to get it to let go. But the raptor keeps tight hold of it. Okay, combat turn 2, please, guys. We're back up to Hazrat.
Yep, I'm going to use my spear and impale it as well.
You cannot from where you are.
Oh, sorry, move up, sorry.
Okay, so you're going to move. Excellent. Gulliver.
Gulliver wants to release the spell that he was holding.
Excellent. Invocation. Oh, no, tell me what you want to do first, and then invocation.
He wants to teleport over here.
Okay, yeah. Okay then. Roll invocation. Yeah. Spell comes off, and
so he holds out his hand, and this sort of like ball of water starts appearing on it, and then he closes his hand, it disappears, and sort of like a puddle appears here. And Gulliver moves instantaneous to there. And then once he's there, he shouts out, "Beware!" as loud as he can.
Okay, raptors go next, I think. So this one launches itself at the guard. And hits.
Okay, he'll try to parry it.
Guards have 3 action points, by the way, just so you know. I should say.
Nice.
I take it the shields are.
They're all carrying short spears at the moment.
Right. Okay.
Okay, he fails. So this is the hit location. And this is the damage.
So, because I've got it on different things. Left leg 5.
Remember, it's got armor there. It'll stop it first, and that is now gripped onto that guard. Back down to here. This raptor is taking. This is number 2. And this is its action. So this is an attack coming off at the guard. That misses. And then finally for the velociraptors, this is down at the bottom. This is yours, Bartleby. And the raptor does an attack at your guard and hits.
Oh no, guard. Jason,
yeah.
No.
Not Jason.
Oh, am I in control of Jason for this combat here?
Yeah, you should have.
Oh, yes.
So
Sorry, my bad. Got his character sheet open. So he would want to parry then, yeah?
Correct, yeah. Just keep an eye on their action points.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's got them 3 there. So, yeah, I guess he'll roll short spear.
Yeah. No.
That's not the skill. Oh, gosh,
combat
pickles.
side, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so he successfully blocks that attack. Yeah. So
Jason.
I was just getting confused with opposed rolls and differentiated rolls then, but I'm fine. Right. Hengist, you have arrived at the door.
Cool. Hengist wants to open the door.
Okay. Yeah. So you can open the door. The inside of the room looks like any other sort of like any other of the villages there. Bartleby, you're up. You do feel Jeremiah sort of like pushing you in, Hengist, as he tries to sort of like push you into the room.
Hengist would of open the door and sidestep so that what's his name can go in. Hengist has no plan of going in the building.
Right. Okay. Then, so you open the door, and then we'll see what happens. You can then move out the way. You can move out the way this time, but Jeremiah can't move yet. Right. Bartleby, you're up.
So this is kind of a mechanics question on what would constitute a full action, I guess. If I were to look behind me, I'm going to play with my ruler over here, kind of looking in, it's not the ruler, in this direction to make sure that nothing was attacking. That would be a full turn, yeah?
Yeah, because you're making careful observation.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm going to do since my friend's got this covered over here.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine then.
No ambushes.
Yeah, excellent. Ben.
Ben would swing that glorious hammer, I believe.
Go for it.
Let's see. So attack roll first, and we're not going to roll damage this time. Attack roll.
Yeah, that certainly hits.
And then the special, as always, he wants to bash. He wants to send that critter moving.
Cool.
No, I take it back. He wants to stun. He's being smart.
Stun. Okay then.
Stun selected. Hit location.
Hit location. Yeah.
And
17 is one of its front legs.
yes, and then
I need
excellent.
damage. I need damage next.
All right, I'm just making sure I'm clicking all the right buttons and close.
5 points.
Let me go over to combat effects to see what.
Yeah,
goes
and you
on.
bash it in, and you notice that it's damaged it, but it's only like a minor wound at the moment. And the beast sort of like can't use its arm now. It's stunned in that location. A hind leg would have made it fall over, or maybe a head would have made it unconscious. But this one is absolutely fine. Right, guards. Gulliver.
Does Sav have an initiative?
Sav rolls just the same as the guards.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So he actually has an attack this one on this one. So just roll the guard twice.
Okay. So the guard is going to attack.
And misses. Sav, just roll. Just click the guard again.
Yeah.
Sav does hit, however.
Okay. What's he got? A spear as well?
No, he has a sword.
Okay.
I think it's set up for a sword there. Yeah.
Short sword, is it?
Yeah. Or you can have the spear. It's up to you. I don't mind.
No, he'll have the sword. Okay, so he's going
probably got
to.
his heater shield then as well.
Okay, so he's going to choose location, and he's going to go into the chest of this thing.
Okay, so that'll be his 4 quarters.
Okay.
Yeah, roll some damage. 2, yeah, that doesn't get through the armor. So it sort of like hits off, and you notice that it puts a little gash into it, but it doesn't do anything major at all. Okay, turn 3. Hashra, you're up. If you've got anything left, which you should have.
Does my guard get to go as well?
Oh yes, yeah. By all means, go.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know whether or not he had any action points left.
Yes, because he's only used 1 to attack so far because he didn't parry.
Did he not parry the initial attack from the beast?
No, I didn't roll for it.
Well, he would have done in any case.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still got one left in that case then.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
Pull out the spear.
Yeah. Make a brawn roll. And he fails.
Oh.
And your guard, Bartleby.
I believe he would try and skewer this creature then. So attack roll.
Yeah.
And then special would be nice. Special
Nice.
would be impale.
Cool. So give me a hit location.
I'm gonna give you a 15.
That's his other leg, front leg.
Deal. And damage.
Yeah, so roll it twice.
Yeah.
9 and...
Oh, yeah, twice. There's nothing better I could do, but 8.
8. 6. Okay, yeah, that spear goes straight through the leg, the front leg. It actually, let me just check. It does that. He rolls his endurance. He does succeed his endurance roll, and the this beast cannot use either of its 2 front legs now. It's also stunned to let me just roll. It's also can't actually it can only defend now for the next 3 turns.
Nice
hit. Okay, is that all the guards done? Yeah. Okay, so this is turn 3 for anybody who's got anything left. Hajra.
Yes, I have 1, and I'm going to try to hit him with my spear.
Yeah, that'll do.
On location.
Special.
Oh, special impale, sorry.
Yeah, okay. That's his, it's like in his chest area.
And damage.
8 or...
Nice.
I always need 2 damage rolls no matter what.
Oh, sorry.
Even if one's the maximum, I still need to see what the other one is.
8 or please give me 9. Oh, 8.
I think...
Your choice.
Yeah. So that's 8 in that one. 5.
Take the 8.
Yeah, okay then. Yeah, it sort of like whacks into the front of the chest. You ram your spear in it. It goes through the leathery armor. You hear it crunching on bone, but the beast isn't dead. Gulliver.
Just so you know, I think we're all showing the same guard template. So any damage that one guard's taken is going on to the other.
That's all right.
Characters.
You know what your guard's done.
Yeah, just ignore the one that's mine taken.
Yeah. So when I teleported and shouted, did this thing change direction at all, or did it just carry on attacking?
It just carried on attacking.
All right, I'll cancel my spell.
Okay. I'm just trying to get your to separate it out so you've all got different.
Your guard did block as well. Medivac.
Did he?
Yeah, he rolled an 88.
Sorry.
Got hit on its right leg.
Right.
Thank
Your
you.
yours is going to be guard 2, Gulliver. Hazra, yours is guard 3. And Bartleby, yours is going to be guard 4.
That guard has a name.
Sorry, Jason. Excellent. Gulliver's not doing. Velociraptors don't have anything this time. 17. Hengist, if you have something else.
So yeah, did Jeremiah get into the building last turn or not?
No, he can't because he doesn't have enough action points.
Right. Fine.
He's only an advisor.
No, that's fine. I didn't know that. So Hengist is going to move there to give Jeremiah space, and then I've already used my
Yeah,
free.
cool. Okay then, Bartleby,
Right, yeah.
do you have anything left?
Oh no, I didn't have anything left.
Okay, does Ben have anything left?
I don't believe he does, but let me just double check.
He only
Because he's
has
the same
two.
as.
Yeah, he only has
he's the
two.
same.
Yeah, and guards are all done. So that's it. End of round 1. We are moving on to round 2 combat turn 1. How's your back, Gulliver?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Do you know you say you were giving the guards different numbers? Does that affect us in any way?
It just means that you should have different combat sheets now.
Oh, mine's just open the same one.
It should say something different now when you actually...
Oh yeah, yes, because it's taken into account. It's taken into account the what do you call it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Hashra, you're first.
Right, I shall badly try and pull my spear out.
Okay. Brawn roll then. Yeah, it's firmly stuck in there. Gulliver.
Gulliver's going to drop down onto his folk magic or his cantrips. He's going to point at this this thing with his 2 fingers crossed, and he's going to say, "Anoint Persid," and cast a spell.
Excellent folk magic roll. Do you wish to use luck?
No.
No. Okay, then it misses. And don't forget to remove magic points. Yeah. Right. For raptors. Now all these are now gripped. Okay, so these are going off on the guard wherever they gripped it with its bite. So this is yours, Gulliver. So that takes 1 point of damage. Your guard takes 1 point of damage. And
Yep.
yours, Bartleby, takes 3 points of damage.
Now, does armor still have an effect here?
No, the oh yes, it's gripped, but those 1 point. If it doesn't go through the armor, then that's absolutely fine.
Brilliant.
Imagine that is almost like chomping as it goes through. Hengist, you're up.
Sorry, I think Pickles is wanting to ask something.
Yes. Mr.
Yeah.
Pickles.
I don't remember where my guard was gripped.
Leg,
Okay. Which leg? If I
right leg. Would you be?
right leg. Cool. Thanks.
It's always the right leg, you know.
It's either the right leg or the right arm. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Hengist. Hengist wants
No,
to...
actually, no. Sorry. Bartleby, yours didn't get hit.
That's why I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yours was the one that it actually missed its attack on. Yeah.
Didn't you say it was only attacking or acting defensively?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes, Hengist.
Hengist wants to survey the situation. He wants to look up to the combat that's going on up there. He wants to look around for any other threats and that sort of thing whilst he's waiting for Jeremiah to get in the house, and he's going to say to Jeremiah, "Get in the house and close the door."
Okay, excellent. Bartleby, you're up.
Let's see. Do I see anything sneaking up to ambush us?
No, I will tell you if you. There's nothing from last time coming in towards you at all.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to maintain my vigilance then for my turn.
Okay, excellent. And Ben.
Ben is not being vigilant. He's going to bash this thing to bits. Got my name ready. Got my swinging number ready, which is right here. He wants to use some luck.
Yeah, and that take it down to 8. Will that actually crit or not? No, it won't.
Okay, yeah.
Because
well,
it's 1/10 of your skill, and your skill's 54. So it would be
Gotcha.
5.
For his special, he wants to pick stun,
Yeah.
or stun location, I should say. For hit location, I've got for you a tasty 2.
2. So that's on its tail. So
yeah,
do
let's
some
break
damage.
tail. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ouch.
Yeah, Ben's crazy with the hammer.
Oh,
That's 2.
Some would say he got that skill knocked into him.
hang on a minute, just 1 second. This is its endurance roll. Right, he actually fails its endurance roll, and you numb its tail, which now means that because of that, it's now attacking at hard for everything, because he's literally
Overbalanced, isn't he?
he's overbalanced now. Yeah. Longshanks is
Nice.
giving me bits in the middle of combat.
Multitasking to the max.
So he's not doing anything else.
This is the biggest combat we've been in. We have a long time.
Get to the door. No. Get to the door. No.
I'm just giving
God. That was an
It's also
attack
pretty short.
for Bartleby was perceiving. Okay, guard's turn, guys. So I'm assuming they're all attack. So we'll start.
Yeah.
We'll start up with yours, Gulliver.
Okay, guard.
That's a hit.
Okay, he's going to impale.
It's 3. Its tail. 2 lots of damage, please.
6.
6. Its tail for 6. Okay, yeah. And Sarv.
Yeah. So he's got a short Dinkler. I won't let me click on his primary style anymore. Oh, there we go.
He misses.
Does he have luck?
It should be on his character sheet. The guards have luck, so
Yeah, well, it says 1 out of 2. So he'll use his point of luck.
yeah. Okay. Damage and special and location.
Okay, so he's going to do bleed. 17.
17 is its front leg.
4 points.
Yeah, that just gets through the armor and does some damage. Hazra, your guard.
My guard is going to grit his teeth and he's going to pull his spear out this time.
Okay, brawn roll. It
No,
stays
he's
in.
not.
And Bartleby, your guard.
I believe my guard also needs to be pulling the spear from the
Yeah,
creature.
correct. So brawn
And Braun. Yeah.
Yeah, just tick
job,
that.
Jason.
roll. Tick that because he gets to do an increase on that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Jason.
Oh, and then
Jennifer.
Jeremiah moves into the house.
Woohoo! Finally.
Okay, so this is combat turn, round 2, combat turn 2. Hashra, you're up.
We all seem to be still using the same character sheet, by the way.
Yeah.
You actually separated up onto three different ones. So
Well, there wasn't anything that appeared separately for us to click on in our list.
Did yours take damage in the left leg? Gully?
Mine did, yeah.
Yes, sorry, I'll put yours back on there then on mine. 'Cause it's
hang
down
on,
to 2,
hang on,
wasn't it?
hang on. Do you know where your guards are damaged?
Yes.
His was in the right leg.
Okay,
No,
you
yours is the
know
left
you
leg.
know where your guards are damaged, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let's just.
Right, what I've done is that I've dragged them out again, completely new. So these should be completely new sheets.
Well, so we just need to open the sheet again.
Yeah, so see whether or not they're working now.
No, it's reset all mine now. So do I just need to now
No,
change it?
sorry, that's why I said to you, remember
okay,
where it's
right.
done. So hopefully now, if you each do each other's, you can still. Do you still have control over your characters?
Yeah, well, I took 4 points in the right leg, so that's 2 points, which is right leg down to 3.
Is it doing it now?
Yeah.
So I've just changed 3 on mine. So
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. So I just need to add all the guards back to the turn order now. There you go. Sorry, whereabouts were we? All guards have done, aren't we? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, so where were we up to?
I think it was Hazra's turn, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hashra, yeah.
Hazra's going to
Try to pull his spear out.
no, he's going to ignore his spear and draw his scimitar. That's his
Okay,
action.
so he's going to ready a weapon. Gulliver, you're up.
Gulliver's going to try to cast the same spell as he did last time.
Cool. Yeah, that hits.
I just need to think. So you do get a resist for endurance on it
Okay.
against a roll of 56.
Fails.
You fail. So this is coming to
It's
The
left
seven.
hand leg.
for 1 point.
Yeah, hits the leathery armor. Okay, Velociraptors now. This is the.
The disruption ignores any armor or natural protection.
All right, thank you. So, how much? Sorry, 1 point of damage.
1. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. This is the top one that does have a spear in, I think. Did you impale?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And it's also got a bleed on it.
yeah, the bleed comes off at the end of the
Right, okay.
round. So this needs to be hard. Yeah, which succeeds.
Okay, I'll try to parry it.
No, it's gripped.
All right. Okay.
It's actually gripped, so it does the damage. But it only does 2 points of damage.
Okay. The armor stops it.
Yeah. This is your Velociraptors. Is this one? This one's impaled twice.
Yeah.
So this has to be formidable. Which it fails. And finally, this one can't do anything. It's got one more turn left. And no, actually, it's got another. It's got more now because you hit it again, haven't you? Yeah. Okay then. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist is up. Hengist is up. Hengist is up. So once Jeremiah's gone in to the building and the door's closed, Hengist is gonna sprint. Well, not sprint. Sorry, he's running into this combat.
Cool.
With his hand and a half sword drawn, full on like Aragorn style type run. It's like
Ready to kill.
handle like right up by his chin. He's like charging like this.
Okay, so that's your movement. Okay then, and Bartleby, you're up.
I'm going to keep my vigilant watch to make sure we don't get ambushed.
Okay, Ben's up.
Ben is up, and he is swinging hard again. Let me just make sure I have his name associated, and we're going to roll hammer. Hammer time.
Yep, that
Success.
hits.
Special is going to be stun location. And let's see. I would like to hit directly on the 17, I guess.
That's already a front leg, and you've already stunned it. Both front legs are.
Want me to roll again, or?
Yes, please.
All right. How about a delicious 12?
Oh yeah, well that makes sense because that's actually a B. It's 4 quarters, so even if we use the rule of transmitting damage, that would be right. Yes, I need some damage.
Yes, you do. And that is the one I need to press.
Wow.
When I come back, I want to be Benjamin.
Benjamin is a boss. He totally didn't have his head caved in.
And that knocks your raptor out. It's unconscious, so we'll presume in the next few rounds you will finish that off. Okay, guards. Yours first, Gilly.
Okay, attack on the guard. For the guard misses. Attack for Sav.
Hits.
And he will do choose location head for 4 points of damage.
Goes through his armor.
For 1 point.
Yeah, how did you know?
Because the other one did it as well.
Guess what my guard's doing?
I'm trying to pull it out.
Again. Oh,
I'm
no.
failing. Okay, Bartleby, your people are going to be out of combat for a while.
That's fair.
Sorry, my guard was impaled as well. So he's not going to try to hit and miss. He's going to drop his spear and draw his sword.
Okay, then, yeah. Unless Ben and the guard wants to start heading upwards to the next combat. If they want to use their movement every time, then that would be absolutely fine. Okay.
I presume once we've killed the target, we'd want to make our way up north to get with the rest of the group.
Yeah, so this would be combat round. This is still round 2, combat turn 3. Hashra.
Yeah, one left. Hit him with a scimitar.
Nice.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay,
Special and then
location.
location.
Special is going to be bleed.
Okay.
And the location is 8. Please be chest.
No. It's hindquarters.
Oh, buttocks. Right, for damage of,
6. Thank you. Yeah, it's got a minor wound there. And Gulliver.
Gulliver's going to cast the same spell, but fails.
Fails. I don't know why you're casting folk magic. That's what I don't understand. Because if you cast folk magic and you fail, you lose a magic point, don't you?
Yeah.
So you're casting cantrips, and yet you have sorcery powers at your beck and call. And you're just sort of like sticking it with needles. Velociraptor's bits. I'm impaled on the first one. So this is hard and fails. Yours is double impaled, so it's formidable. Oh, but that's nice. That is nice. 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage.
And yours is out. Hengist, you're up.
That's fine.
Cool. Hengist is using his final action point this turn to attack this thing with his two-handed sword, two-handedly. Oh, just scrapes in.
Okay.
Hengist is going to use the combat offensive special Entangle. So, and then he wants to do 1d20. Choose location, which is 4.
Can a two-handed sword entangle?
No, it has to be something that has a special of entanglement,
Yeah.
like a whip or a net.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. It didn't say that on the sheet. In that case...
Yeah, it says allows a character wielding an entangling weapon such as a whip or net to immobilize the location. Yeah.
And on the PDF it says entangling weapons immobilize a location struck.
Yeah. So tell me your special again.
Okay. In that case, I will use... Can't use bleed. Probably sunder in that case, which I can use. So damage the armor or natural protection of an opponent, and then reduces AP by any damage of the above AP value. So I've done before. So I want to do my two-handed sword for damage. 3.
Which doesn't go through its armor. Just to let, I actually thought you were still fighting with your sword, one-handed until that point. So I now know that.
I did very carefully say he's going to attack it two-handedly using that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Up to that point, I assumed that you were just one-handed and shield like you've always been. So we'll assume now that you're always going to. Are you not carrying your shield now at all?
It's on his back.
Right. So
it's because we did none of us did it. So I didn't know what was going on. But okay.
No, that's why I said that. I thought at the beginning what I said was that I assumed people would be going with their weapons drawn. That's what I thought. So that's all right. From now on, you can two-handed. That won't be a problem. Okay. Who are we up to next? Bartleby.
I don't believe I have any more actions, but
Cool.
my guard probably does to spear or pull the spear out.
Yeah. So does Braun roll him, and does Ben won't have anything to do either? Yeah.
No, he's
And
as slow as me.
I've got Sav as well.
Oh,
Yeah, my
cool.
God,
Thank you.
You want me to tick Braun again?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah. So you're not doing anything, right? So guards now. Back up to the top is your combat, Gully.
Okay, so normal guard doesn't have anything because he's parried as well.
Okay.
But Sav does,
Excellent.
but he misses.
He misses. Okay.
My guard is inspired by seeing me hit this creature in the rear, and he pulls this spear out.
For no, it doesn't.
Not.
And that's guards all done. Yeah. So
Yes.
this is that's combat round 2 finished. So anybody who's combat round 2 that needs fatigue rolls, roll them now.
No.
Right, so just run this by me again. What constitutes a fatigue roll?
If you're let me just check it. You need to. Oh wow! Good old Ben.
Good job, Ben. Good old Ben. It's amazing endurance. Not me though.
It's your constitution in seconds rounded up.
Wonderful, thank you.
So what is it?
13 in seconds, rounded up would be
2. So you need to do an endurance roll now. So you're with everybody else. Yeah. Yeah. So that's fine. So if you failed that, then you would automatically put your fatigue up 1 level, and then you've got another 2 rounds before you need to do the next one.
wonderful. Thank you.
Brilliant. Right, combat round 3, turn 1. Hazrat, you're up.
I shall have another slash at this.
That's nice. I need whatchamacallit? Special then damage. Special then hit location then damage.
Bleeding location is going to be 9.
Oh, hang on, let me just make his endurance check for the last one. So he's now going to have he's now winded. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, 9 bleed to and 9, which is his hindquarters. Yeah.
Again,
Do some damage.
for another 8.
8. Nice.
Does it? Did you bleed last time as well?
I did, yes.
Yeah, it's not stackable. This bleed.
No, but
It's all over.
that came off at the. Oh yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. So. Well, we'll do the 8 in any case because that takes it down to -1. So it needs to make. It's got a serious wound now on its hindquarters, so it needs to make an endurance roll, and fails that, and the raptor passes out unconscious. Gulliver, you're up.
Gulliver will cast the same spell again. Gets a critical.
Excellent.
Doesn't
I
that
think
have
I-
to do something with magic points then? You gain magic points back, or
I think I get something.
Hang on, I will just check.
I think I get 1d3 back or something.
Let me just have a look.
sounds like what I remember.
Critical set. Is it
Folk magic.
folk magic? Critical success, 0 drain.
Cool. Okay, so you do get an endurance roll. You are impaled and bleeding.
Yeah, that's cool. He fails that.
Okay, so this is coming to the 20.
That's his head.
Oh, lovely.
This bypasses armor, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for 3
Nice.
points.
Right, that takes it down to 0, which means that's a serious wound. So this is his endurance check, which he fails, which means that raptor passes out unconscious. Right, that's it.
I don't think I could have got better than those rolls. A 1 which
Winner.
was critical, a natural 20, and then maximum damage.
Brilliant. So that is the first, the initial. Oh, sorry, the raptor attack done, and I think we will leave you hanging in the lurch there,
I want to heal my guard.
and we will pick this up because it's already gone back past the time. So we will pick it up from this point next. Well, maybe next week, but maybe not. Maybe the week after. We'll talk about it in Discord in between, and then see what we come up with about what we want to do. You're just going to see Macoon for a while,
That was his name.
but he's
I
gone.
love him.
I've been trying to remember. I've started to make a list of people that we've come across.
Sylvester McCoon.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay then. So rather than going round everybody and saying, "Oh, who are you and where will you be found," etc., etc., I just decided that it's going to be a lot easier just to say to people, "Does anybody have anything to announce?" That's going to be the easiest thing to do. So, does anybody have anything to announce?
Nothing at all.
Mr. Bartleby, Mr. Pickles.
I have a continuing game of Traveler that I am the storyteller / DM for on Mondays, Pacific Standard Time at 4:30. It's over on Wrath Inspired's channel, and he is a player, and that's something I do regularly on Mondays.
And I came and watched this week.
It'll be early again, like that, similar time.
No, it won't
that's-
be. Because we've gone forward then.
What
I
time
mean,
is
it'll be
that?
early for me because I'll have free time. I'm on spring break, so we're starting
Oh
early.
yes, yeah,
Spring break.
yeah. So, I might be able to grab it then.
Yeah,
Monday
so it'll
night.
probably be more like 2:30 Pacific Standard instead of 4:30.
Cool.
So what time is that over here? That's about 6 or 7 o'clock.
What time is it there now?
Right now it is 4:10 p.m.
Oh, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. So we'll all be able to come and watch that on Monday night.
Yes, we will.
It's late though. I understand.
I will be playing Minecraft, but I'll swap over once I finished. Hazra, have you got anything that you want to announce about your stream?
No, you find me on Medivac CUK most days, spamming random games.
Yeah, you're playing something about hunting shadows or insects and hives at the moment.
Oh, that's with Sugar. Yes,
Yeah.
We are.
By the way, I did put it in the chat. You can't hear you at all. Then all of a sudden, Sugar.
I know. I've got to find a way to mute him or just not invite him.
Yeah. At one point, I thought Sugar was actually streaming on your channel.
I know.
Yeah, because you were there in the corner, just sort of like sat there.
And there's no good putting anything in chat because you can't see it.
I was talking away on chat and saying, hi there, blank, nothing. Excellent. Anyone else have anything that they want to say? No, fantastic.
I wish my life was less exciting.
We may be here next Saturday. We might not. People have got things to do. If we don't play Mithras, I might do a one-off something for anybody who's around. But we'll talk about that in Discord, and then I'll announce it during the week. I will be back streaming tomorrow at 3 o'clock BST time for some more Elder Scrolls Online, and then Minecraft on Monday, and I'll keep my events up to date tomorrow so you can see what's happening on my channel. I would like to say thank you very much to everybody who came along to watch, and for you guys for playing tonight. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and we will see what Ubbin Falls holds for the party next week or in the next session. What has happened in the village? What is going on behind the waterfall? And will the guards continue to save the day? We'll all be able to find out until when we come back to the next thrilling episode of the Odes campaign. But until then, I'd like to say to each and every one of you, have fun, and I'll catch you all later. And until then, consider yourself well and truly waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.